as I just mentioned, Chapter 19 is the final Kill Everything chapter in the entire game. Unfortunately, it's not really all that interesting. There is some stuff to talk about in this chapter, but none of it's all that engaging, so... But before we get into any of that, we first have to sit through this really long cutscene. It's definitely like one of the longest in the game, if not the longest. So, if you... Like, the chapter title is Heidel's Decision. And if you haven't been able to put two and two together up until now, at some point, Heidel, Elisha, Misaki, and Jagard are all going to join our team and help us fight the Black Swarm. And that's what's going to happen in this chapter. So, the Black Swarm, like, ruined the world, basically, and Heidel's like, hold on, you guys are all fucked up, I'm out of here. So, he's out of there. But on his way out of there, he breaks Yui and Shoya out of prison, basically. So, they're all making a run for it. And somehow Elisha catches up to them in her slow-ass moth, and then Shoya does that, he pulls that anime maneuver, where he's like, you guys go on ahead. I'll take care of this one. And then he stays behind and fights Elisha and gets his ass kicked. So he doesn't get to escape, but Yui and Heidel do. So we're going to help them fight some guys this chapter, and then at the end of the chapter we're going to get Yui back and Heidel. So this map is kind of bad. It's like literally cut into two halves. We're on the left side, where like there's not really any enemies until we get to the far half of the map. And then on the right side, there's a whole bunch of just like enemies around, and that's where Yui and Heidel are at. So we're just gonna dump all of our high movement units in the middle in an effort to move Sakuma to the other end of the map as quick as possible. Here we have Yui use a Longhorn touch card to kill this Pillbug. This is the last big point of RNG in the run. So as usual, Yui has a chance to miss Billy on that, and if she does, you reset, because otherwise Yui and Heidel won't get enough work done to beat the chapter in 4 turns, which is our goal. And Heidel takes the chunk out of that Pillbug using a Neptune Horn. He does a lot of damage too because he has a beam weapon equipped. And funny thing, this game actually has a third jingle that plays when you use a combat card, and it plays if an ally uses a card. And I have literally never heard that until I was recording this footage. Like, I think maybe the subordinate unit might have cards in chapter 10, but if I've ever heard that, I certainly don't remember it, because you go too fast in this run for them to ever even attack anything. So as far as I know, this is the only time in the game where your allies will actually attack things with cards, and I don't know why there's a fucking jingle for that. Anyway, so we're using this weird setup to get Sakuma as far as possible, because he needs to get as far as possible, because we need Minoru to hit the snail that's at the very top of the map. You saw Ganbei use Moth Wings on Janie to give her an extra movement. It's a pretty subtle effect. It doesn't... We need it this chapter, but it doesn't really look like a whole bunch. We're not going to use that card again until the very last chapter. And now you see here why we deployed Raphael at the very bottom, because there's a warp tile at the top of the right side and the bottom of the left side. So we're just going to have him come over to this side, and he's going to help Yui and Heidel take out all this shit over here. So we weather this pretty mild barrage. This butterfly is going to melee attack Yamato for some reason, so we can counterattack and get a free kill. For the same reasons that it would melee attack Yamato in chapter 17, I suppose. Akane's job, in fact, like, the entire middle part of the map, the only thing that's going to happen there in the next 2 turns is Akane's going to kill his water bugs. And this snail is kind of stupid. So this snail deploys 2 of its bees immediately, and then it moves. And then it doesn't deploy the locust. So next turn when we kill the snail, we also just get to kill the locust for free. I have no idea why he doesn't deploy the locust, but he doesn't. And I don't know. It's convenient, but dumb. So as I just said, with our shenanigans with movements, we get just enough range out of Minoru so he can KO this snail. So he's going to do that. Blade is going to kill the ladybug on the right with a beetle horn. Yamato's going to move all the way up, and he's going to fight those 2 bees that were deployed. And then there's 2 ladybugs left on the left side, and we're going to have Janie take out those guys because, like, she can reach. So... And then, yeah, and then we already told you what Raphael is going to do in this chapter. He's just going to fight some miscellaneous shit, and that's really all there is to say about chapter 19. It's a really straightforward map, overall. the last thing I can really talk about with this map is how, like, there's this thing at the end of this map and then the next map that really just pissed me off. It doesn't affect us really in this LTC run, but in a casual playthrough, it's a real dick move. So, and you may have actually noticed this happening because it's happened every time, I think, like literally every time. So, in this chapter, Hydel is level 15. Sorry, no, Hydel's level 20, and Yui is level 15. But when we beat the chapter and like recruit them, they like lose levels, and like I think Hydel drops down to let's see here, what level does he drop down to? I'm not really sure. I think like level 12 or something. And then Yui drops all the way back down to level 6, which is what she was when she left the party. And the same thing will happen with Shoya when we get him back, which will be next chapter, spoilers. And like at this point, Raphael's level 12, Yamato's level 14. What the hell are we gonna use a level 6 unit for? Like I'll give them some credit. At this point in the game, we don't care about firepower, but we also don't care about Yui and Shoya, so it doesn't affect us. But in a casual playthrough, you might, like, the player might want to use Shoya, and now he comes with this huge fucking disadvantage. And same way with Yui, except most people are going to want to use Yui because she's really good. And now they just have to build the hell up. And even worse is the fact that these two in particular, and like it's happened to every unit we've recruited so far, but these two are pretty bad, is that they start with some great equipment. Like I said, Hydel has a beam melee weapon. Yui has, I think, the Aura Beam 3 and the fucking FCS, which is this massive range increasing booster part. And we don't get any of that when they join. We get like the bog standard cockroach melee part, and I think just a regular old Aura Beam, and that's it. Like, the game does not throw us a bone at all. It's really just kind of frustrating. So I'm out of things to say for this chapter, so I'm going to call it here, and I'll see you guys in chapter 20.